going from high school and then going into the NBA, like the G League.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. High schoolers, like when I look at a high schooler on the street or whatever, or like on TikTok, I mean, they just seem so far away from being mature enough to handle a lot of responsibilities. I know some athletes really can go into the NBA and probably be great, but I think that you're right. It does take time to develop and mature and grow into your body and into your skill. Jackie, what do you think Gilbert means when he says that a player can be an NBA star but not necessarily a college star? Do you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, I mean, that happens just in life. People sometimes don't do well in college because, maybe being in school, period, is just a different kind of pressure, because now you have to not only, maintain who you are as an athlete and try to work on going to the league if that's what you want to do. You have to stay eligible. You can't be ineligible. You have to study to some certain extent. And we know, unfortunately, a lot of kids, once, especially in high school, once they get on track to be a college star, potentially a star in the league, they get kind of pushed through. So maybe they don't even have a lot of the fundamentals that they need to succeed, scholastically once they get to college. So I definitely think it can be harder. And if we've seen it work before. I mean, LeBron came right out of high school, Kevin Garnett came right out of high school, so those are anomalies, but it definitely can happen. But I think it should be a case-by-case situation, because there are some kids that, they have the talent now in high school, but they're never going to make it in the league. And if they do, like Britt said, they're never going to have that level of success. So they do need to have something to fall back on. But if you have that LeBron or Kevin Garnett kind of talent, then let's push them through. Let's get it in, because they obviously can make it work. But a lot of people struggle who aren't athletes in college. So I definitely think if that's if athletics are your focus, it could be really hard for you.
Yeah. And even just like your body, like I think of Dennis Rodman, who was not anything in college. He played in like D3 college, basketball. And then like, look what he ended up becoming as an NBA player, like he was not like this basketball player, and he never thought he was going to play basketball and didn't play basketball for a while, and then goes into this thing, and he's Dennis Rodman now, so like not even scholastically, but just like physically, like he was not a basketball player, and look what he became.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about LaMelo really quickly, because LaMelo obviously took a different route than most high school athletes by playing professionally in Australia. So Chris, do you think that his future would have looked differently had he gone either straight from high school into the NBA, or if he did go and play in college instead of professionally in Australia?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. I think it would have not looked how it's looking right now. I think he needed that time in Australia to get to where, because we got to remember, before he even played in Australia, he was barely in the first round in a lot of people's mocks. A lot of people had him going second round, and a lot of the people that actually knew basketball thought that was absolutely absurd. But of course, people are going to follow the mocks, and scouts won't check him out. And LeVar Ball wasn't helping that situation. So I think he's an anomaly in that sense, where he needed it because of his path and how wacky and how all over the place his path was to get to where he is today. But yeah, to the point of what Gilbert Arenas is saying, I think the biggest thing was the fact that it's not everybody that should make the decision to go straight to the pros after high school. I think, like you were saying, there is that select group like Cassius Stanley, who did not have a good season with Duke, but is going to be a good player. He's probably going to get drafted in the second round now rather than before, when people thought he was going to be a lottery pick. And another person is a dude that was on Britt's team, Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony was supposed to be the first overall pick this year, did not have a good season with North Carolina, and now teams are looking like he's going to be like Michael Porter Jr., might not even make it in the lottery, and then watch us find out that he's still going to be the star that everyone expected him to be. So I agree on the standpoint that, yes, there are players that know that they are star-driven. They are NBA-bound before even needing to step foot on a college basketball court. And even though people like myself and others may have known that LaMelo Ball was that talent, unfortunately, because of his dad and because of other outlying stuff, he needed Australia to be put in a situation where now we're respecting him the way we should be respecting him. And he got that $100 million contract with Puma. So I think LaMelo specifically, he did need it. He did.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I think also just from a PR perspective, LaMelo going to Australia helped create physical and just like mental distance from LeVar, so people are able to take him more seriously while he is over there thinking and developing professionally. But you guys, that wraps up Need to Know News. So Chris, I'm handing it over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very big docket, so buckle up because it's time for Post Up with your boy Chris, Quarantine Edition. And yes, and also you're not going to get me disagreeing with a lot of things that Gil Arenas says, even though if they are kind of outlandish, but that one for sure is one I definitely agree with. But something else I absolutely agree with and love is something that we actually covered yesterday, but we have a part 2 today, and that is the star of the LeBron James household, that is little Ziri James, who is coming back with a part 2 of what we saw yesterday. Now, we saw LeBron go and check out her crib in the backyard, and now she's got this thing decorated, ready for Halloween. She got this thing all haunted out and, decorated and looking like it's going to be her own little mini haunted house. And then she even added something to the house and the creepy factor of her little home. Here's another video of LeBron James with Ziri. It's crazy. So yeah, one day this thing's looking all like pretty and cute and everything. We were talking about the couch looking fire, her little kitchen was on fire, it was dope and everything. And now we going in there, everything's thrown apart, lights flickering, it's looking like a horror thing. So yeah, Zuri's she's doing what she does with her extension, her own home, and she did a good job with her little haunted house. I thought that was pretty cute. That was adorable there. But sticking to LeBron James, we have a few LeBron James. Sticking to LeBron James, he is going back to the drawing board. Normally you come off a championship, you're going to see the celebrations and stuff go on until free agency. But we know LeBron James is not one to do that, so he is going right back to the drawing board and doing what he does best, and that is studying those that he looks up to. And LeBron James, we know by the jersey that's on his chest, one of the people that he's always looked up to is Michael Jordan. So he posted a picture of himself rewatching The Last Dance, where he is, like he said, back to doing his homework and paying attention to the mind of what Michael Jordan. And that's pretty much what The Last Dance really did a good job in showing people who might not have been able to watch Michael Jordan. You could truly see why a lot of people believe that Michael Jordan is the GOAT, and that The Last Dance did a good job of putting that all together. And LeBron James is he's absorbing that for himself to continue to add to the greatness that he is of as LeBron James. So no surprise there. But speaking of one great player to another, LeBron James posted a series of pictures along with a really cool caption to honor and tribute the late great Kobe Bryant. This picture, if we can get it up, is that picture is dope. That picture is crazy. That edit to put the jersey there, and then I love this picture. Absolutely love it. It's eerie, it's sad, but it's also really beautiful all at the same time. LeBron James adding the caption, hope I made you, he put I'm LeBron, come on. Hope I made you proud, my brother. Love and miss you, champ, with the snake emoji, purple and gold, hashtag Black Mamba with the 2482. This whole thing was dope. There was also the picture of, because he's been quoting that, this season was going to be dedicated to them. They're going to win the championship, and then followed with the picture of the Lombardi. Goodness gracious, wrong sport, Christopher. Larry O.B. Wrong profile, Larry O.B. Not the Lombardi trophy. What the heck? But yeah, not yet. We ain't there. Yeah, my fault. But yeah, so LeBron, I feel like in honor of this year, I think that was a good tribute for sure to get the Lakers back to the top of the where Kobe Bryant. Well, I won't say where he left it, but where Kobe did so well in his career. So definitely a good ode to Mr. Kobe Bryant. Now, speaking of LeBron James, we're backing off of LeBron James. We're going to be talking about one of his good friends, Tristan Thompson. Now, it's hard for me to take this serious because it's hard for me to take any kind of advice or anything that Tristan Thompson has to say. It's hard for me. It's really, really hard for me. But I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say about Tristan Thompson's take. Now, it's a bit outlandish. He's talking about the fact that there are players that are playing in the league that don't believe that LeBron James is the GOAT, and he thinks that they're crazy for not thinking that because LeBron James can go off and drop like 50 points on their head. It's a whole thing. I need you guys to listen to Tristan Thompson for yourself because it's crazy.
And it's kind of crazy that some guys will say Jordan because I think as athletes we have an ego, and I feel like sometimes guys don't want to say LeBron because they might have to guard him next night, and he probably drop 40 on them. So I think it's more their ego, and they're not being realistic with themselves.
And that was the part right there. The end is what threw me off. Everything else is like, Colin Cowherd, he was laughing at it, and I get that. Good joke. I get you on that, Tristan. But the end is where he had to throw that little slight that they ain't got no common sense or they worried about their ego. I don't. I'm not. I hate the GOAT conversation, so I'm not trying to get Jackie to come after my neck with what I'm saying. I'm just saying I feel like the way Tristan Thompson is putting this out is that if these players don't think LeBron James is the GOAT, then they're the crazy ones. And I'm not a fan of that take either. I think everyone is entitled to their opinion. But Jackie Ray, please, maybe I heard it wrong, and maybe I'm the crazy one. Do you think what Tristan Thompson was saying there is facts? Do you think that for a player that's playing in the league right now that possibly plays against LeBron James, that they are crazy to go on and think that Michael Jordan is still the GOAT, even though they get to see LeBron James or play with LeBron James? Or you agree with me that Tristan is a little out of pocket for forcing that hand?
I mean, I think anyone who thinks LeBron's not the GOAT is a little bit crazy. But I also think that
I knew it. When I said it, I knew when I said it, I knew it was going to be said. But all right, go ahead.
Chris. Phrase the question right. You phrased it wrong. Of course, I think people who don't think LeBron's the GOAT is crazy. But I do agree with him a little bit because I think that you have to have a certain amount of ego if you want to succeed in anything you do, right? Like you can't just go in there and be like, oh, I think everybody's better than me. You have to think that you know the shiznit. So I do think that, you don't want to say that because if Jimmy Butler was running around here talking about, oh, LeBron is everything, LeBron is the GOAT, I don't think he would be able to guard him the way that he did. He plays LeBron very, very well. I don't think that you play him that well if in your mind he's the end all be all. So you have to downplay him in order so that you can play against him pretty well. But at the end of the day, when Jimmy Butler gets off the court, he knows what time it is. But I think when he's on the court, you can't believe that he's the GOAT because you have to play against him like he's not.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, cool. I guess you're right. I set it up. And you did exactly what I expected you to do. So there you go. Whatever. But yeah, I from that standpoint, I've said it many times. I'm cool with them saying what they gotta say. Respect the greatness, even when you're playing against them. But yeah, if you're gonna sit there and drool over them while you're playing against them, I don't care who it is, what player you're talking about. Not a fan of it, and I agree. Yeah, it's definitely not gonna work. And Jimmy Butler is a good example of that, but Tristan. All right, well, we're going to move off of somebody that someone's opinion that I'm not going to really respect to somebody's that I will respect, and that is Klay Thompson. I love Klay Thompson. I'm a big Klay Thompson fan, and we know that Klay Thompson is back to getting into game shape. He was at the double with the Warriors bubble where they had the training camp and all that kind of stuff, and he was doing 5-on-5s. He was playing basketball as he should. He has his clean bill of health, and he's able to play basketball and whatnot. So he thought, what's the best thing I can do next? Well, that is race my older brother, Michael Thompson, and he does just that. And here is the result of who is the winner between older and younger brother, between the Thompson boys. Here's this video. Klay's on the white.
Neck and neck right now. Oh.
Yes!
They look slow.
Never, ever.
They look slow.
That's what this. Right. That was a 10. Right. But from the next, Klay's going to talk about that. But I just want to say this real quick too. The gap between me and my youngest brother is 10 years. I don't care if I become fat. I don't care whatever happens. I am never, ever. I don't care if he turns into an NBA. Or I don't care. I'm never, ever letting 20-year-old Nick beat me in a race. So seeing that, I'm upset with you, Michael Thompson, because it's not like he's old and fat. No, Michael Thompson's still playing pro basketball himself. Might not be at the same level, but he's still playing pro. So I'm upset. For older brothers around the world, I'm upset with you, Mike. Come on, man. And he's coming off of an ACL injury. That made me sick. that made me sick. But to the point that Jackie and Britt were just making, yeah, they did look kind of slow. So Klay Thompson had some words about how people who do this professionally, who are sprinters professionally, do this day in and day out. He had a lot of respect for them. So here's that part of the video.
Tell you something, man. I got so much respect for track athletes. Be out here every day. It's a different type of grind, man. Boy, just sprinting, long distance, jumping. I'm done. Cash.
Yeah, see, I agree with that on so many levels. I say the same thing about joggers. People who have the power to say, I'm going for a jog for this amount of time and come back home. I have the most respect for joggers because to me, I cannot run without a purpose. So that's why I play basketball. I go out there and I'll run football, not with the pandemic. I'll play basketball, I'll play football, play soccer. I play all those kind of things because I'm running with the purpose and getting my miles in. I can't just be like, all right, babe, I'm going for a jog. I can't do it. Halfway through the run, I'm going to be like, why am I doing this? And I'm gonna call Uber and go back home. I can't do it. So I have so much respect for I can't. I have so much respect for people who jog, sprinters, I'm right there with Klay Thompson. That is a whole other part of the brain that I just don't have, and I have all the respect to people like that.
Yeah, it for sure is crazy. I used to run track and I was a sprinter. I cannot do long distance to save my life, but I did the 100, 200 and 4x1 relay. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like 200 meters. That's the farthest you gonna get me. Okay. And it is tough. Yeah, it is tough. It is not for the weak for sure.
That's a different type of exercise that I know I don't have it. So yeah, I'm with Klay on that. I completely respect those that are doing that and choose to do that. But yeah. Okay, so so I see it. I'm sorry.
So
sorry. I don't know.
Devin, do you want to?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, you guys. I wasn't sure if you were still talking, Chris. It seemed like you were thinking. Okay, so Ty Lue was just announced as the Clippers head coach. So quick reactions. I know that nobody thought that he was the right fit. Chris, let's start with you.
No, Britt. No. Don't start with. I want to hear Britt.
Okay, let's start with Britt. Because Chris's face. Chris has
Leo, get a close up. Leo, get a close up of Britt right now. It's important.
Wow. What?
Why?
Okay.
Why? I'm so confused. Is this like a October Fool's joke? This is not real.
Oh God. I'm busting a sweat from this happy dance I'm doing right now. This is crazy. I'm like,
this
break it down first. Break it down.
That's really crazy because I know. Ty Lue was on our coaching staff this year. You guys know, Sam Cassell was my guy, and I definitely thought that he would be named head coach. I don't understand what happened. Maybe he's going to be taking the Rockets job. I don't know, but I'm sad.
I'm so excited. Can I tell you why I'm excited about this? Because as the person who has been through a Ty Lue coaching extravaganza, I can tell you firsthand, coaching is not his forte. LeBron coached that team when Ty Lue was there, and he's not, he's a good pat you on the back kind of guy, but he is not the guy that's going to do no rotations. He's not going to switch things up. He's not He's not calling no plays. Okay. He's not doing none of that. So I'm excited.
Sham said that the lead assistant coach will be Chauncey Billups, so I do like that. Maybe Chauncey will technically be the leader of the team. So, yeah, Ty Lue will be the head coach. He's signing a 5-year deal and Chauncey as the lead assistant. So, Chauncey, help me out. Help your girl out. Make sure we stay okay. Okay, Chauncey?
Chauncey going to spend most of his time looking at Ty Lue like, what?
Sam Cassell will be a head coach this season somewhere, which is I did want that, clearly, because if he's not going to be the lead assistant as he was with the Clippers this last season, that means Sam Cassell.
I wouldn't either.
Somewhere.
I wouldn't either. I would not either. I'm not even a Clipper fan. I'm feeling the type of way. That is crazy to me. I understand Ty Lue's been an assistant coach with Doc Rivers when he was with Boston, and he eventually came back with the Clippers this past season. But for him to just leapfrog Sam Cassell is insane. I hope what Britt just said is the reason why. Like maybe we find out Sam Cassell ends up getting the head coaching job for like the Pelicans or some other team. But man. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
We just interviewed him yesterday for the head coaching job, so I don't know what went wrong. Like we interviewed Sam Cassell yesterday. I like 3 days ago I talked to Sam. I'm like, I want you to be our coach, and he's like, I'm gonna interview. We'll see what happens. That's all I'm saying. And I don't know what happened.
I feel like the person was saying early. I'm just like, Look, I can tell you what, Chauncey Billups is going to have an Advil endorsement by the end of the season because he's going to keep a headache. That's just so fantastic.
Maybe I just don't watch basketball or football this season because clearly both of my teams are in trouble, and I will just stick to my Dodgers, okay? Dodgers, that is the only sport I care about. Don't ask me about football or basketball anymore, okay?
All right,
baseball is about as good as he can coach basketball. He literally could coach baseball the same way he about to coach this team. Oh goodness! Wow. This is a participation trophy at its best. This is a participation
finest.
At its finest.
Sure.
Well, okay. I wanted to share that news with you all. I wanted to make sure you guys all heard it. But Chris, you want to bring us back into the coach stuff?
Devin, you could have said less. I didn't even know in the middle of the show.
I'm the girl. I'm the girl that's not going to be saying less. So I appreciate the
Devin's like me. She got time.
Y'all trying to figure out why my face froze halfway through my Klay Thompson thing because I could not believe what I was reading. I was like, what now? He got the job for what team now? But hey, all right, Ty. Hey, we'll see how that goes for you, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see the text from my little brother. Same little brother I was just talking about. Anyways. But back on track with Post Up. Woo! We got John Morant out here doing some great stuff for the city of Memphis. He went and filled up his trunk with a bunch of pizzas from Little Caesars, and he went out there and he was giving out pizzas to the homeless and helping out the community. Just nothing prompted. He was with somebody, but nothing prompted. Just say, let's get some pizza for people out here who looking for food, need something to eat. And John Morant did that. And this is, I'm talking about. This is a rookie still. He's still a rookie out here doing that. So shout out to John Morant. Love seeing stuff like this. And yeah, cool moment. Cool moment. Yeah, dude is just climbing up the ladder for sure. On that favorite player list for sure. But yeah, shout out to him. Rookie of the year right there. So from one point guard to another point guard, from one point guard I like to another point guard I really like. Lonzo Ball, ladies and gentlemen. There are videos of him coming out, putting in that work, and people are excited about it. Now, again, you guys know I'm a huge Lonzo Ball fan, but this story my opinion on it might surprise you on how I feel about this. But nonetheless, a video is out of Lonzo Ball doing exactly what he should be doing and working on his weaknesses. You see, working around the rim, working on his floater, working on his mid-range, doing what he's supposed to do because hate him or love him, he did step up his numbers outside of his atrocious play in the bubble. We're not talking about that. We're going to forget, but like that ever happened. We're going to treat that like, I don't know, like the third movie of Jurassic Park. Because Jurassic Park 3 was trash, we're going to pretend that the bubble was Lonzo Ball's Jurassic Park 3 because, oh my gosh. But outside of that, for the regular season, Lonzo Ball was shooting pretty lights out from above the three-point line to the point where, he was becoming a threat and a lot of teams were covering him as such. But the problem was the paint and the mid-range, and you see that he's working that out here, and people are excited about it. Now, I'm sure you guys probably expect me to sit here and be like, yeah, man, look at my boy Zone. Look at that crosser. Woo, behind the back. Watch the float game. You expect me to say that. I'm not going to say that because here's my thing. And this is my rule for every player. I don't care if he's on the Knicks. I don't care if it's my little brother. I don't care who it is. If you're an NBA player, you're supposed to make these shots. So open gym workout videos never impressed me. I am happy about it because the biggest part with these and the reason why he's playing so slow is because it's muscle memory, and that will help him when he is playing during the game, and that's what you got to do. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, yo, look at Zoe. I'm not going to do that. I don't do that with my own players. RJ Barrett, you can show me him making 100 threes in a row, but he's in an open gym by himself. He's supposed to do that. So same thing goes with him. Glad he's working on his game. He's been working on his game since he left the bubble, and I'm happy about that. So hopefully this is the season where things turn around. I'm Team Zoe, but, I got to ask the question. I'm not crazy about the pressure thing. I don't believe in pressure when it comes to a game like basketball, specifically in the NBA. But, Britt Johnson, do you believe that this is a make it or break it season for Lonzo Ball in the sense where now his brother is about to come into the league? There's so much excitement about LaMelo Ball. So now does this, we just talked about with Michael Thompson and Klay Thompson. Do you think that there is that extra incentive for Lonzo to make sure that he has a good year this year, to make sure that people remember he's the older brother over his younger brother, LaMelo?
No, because I just think naturally people are not going to be watching him. He plays for the Pelicans. They don't get a lot of TV time or national televised games. So I think that this is actually a good time for him to just relax and finally not be in the spotlight or have to worry about things like that. Obviously, when we do look at Pelican stuff, people are going to be looking at what Zion's going to be doing, because this is going to be supposedly, hopefully, his first full healthy season in the NBA. So I think I think it's good for him because it's going to actually take a lot of pressure off of him. I think his little brother is going to actually have way more pressure on him in this instance, and he's going to be the one that has to live up to a bunch of different things. So I think this is actually a breather moment for Zoe, and I think it's going to be the first one he's had since he's got into the league.
And I think we got a taste of that this year. I think that's the reason why a lot of the numbers did come up, because exactly like you said, everyone was focusing, when you did focus on the Pelicans, they're focusing on Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram with a little sprinkle of Lonzo Ball. So that's why a lot of his stats went up this season. So I completely agree with that. I think, let his game do the talking and not worry about the rest of it, because everybody's going to be worried about what LaMelo Ball is doing this season. But exciting stuff. Cool. Hope Lonzo comes out. I'm a fan of him, so I hope that this turns around and he has a good season this year. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and get hyped up about an open gym workout. I'm sorry. I don't care who it is. Not going to do it. Not going to happen. But moving off of that, where we got some crazy Le'Veon Bell speculation. Now, we sat here and talked about the teams that we think Le'Veon Bell is supposed to go to, or is going to possibly go to. Now, he's supposed to make a decision today, but he's supposed to, the teams that are being tied to his name are none that we mentioned yesterday. We're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and with a little sprinkle of the Dolphins, but I think that's more rumor. But the Kansas City Chiefs, a lot of people are thinking that he's going to be tied to that team. I think it's cool. I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it because they got a young, great running back in Clyde. But, to each their own. You got to – the same reason why I want my Saints to pick him up is probably the same reason why they want to pick him up. So I can't really judge too much because we got running back ourselves, and I'm still thinking that he should be on our team. But yeah, there's all kinds of reports that Le'Veon Bell is supposed to come to the Chiefs at some time today. Starting off with this tweet that was put up yesterday saying Le'Veon Bell prioritizing role in offense and chances to win among part of his free agency evaluation. Many people around the league believe the Chiefs will have interest because of fit. Bell trains in Miami, so perhaps Dolphins are a consideration. So that's why I feel like the Dolphins stuff is just rumor because they just thrown it in because he so happens to work on Miami. We know where he also played college ball. But the biggest part of this whole entire thing was the fact that the thing that really tickles Twitter's fancy is the fact that Le'Veon Bell and Patrick Mahomes followed each other on social media. So now it's for sure that they're going to be on the same team. We're going to see Le'Veon Bell and the Chiefs now because they're following each other. And this tweet that was put up, this next tweet that was put up is perfectly how I feel about it. Le'Veon Bell and Mahomes just started following each other on Twitter. Everyone freak out accordingly because now you know that is what people are going to start riding with. Again, there's rumor that he's supposed to make some decision today. I don't know if Devin's going to hit me with another breaking news Devin bomb. I don't know. But as of right now, he has not made that decision. But yeah, if you guys want, for those who care so much about these follow backs, we got some proof right here. It is true that they follow each other. There it is. Oh, they follow each other. So they're going to be teammates now because it has nothing to do with the fact that they might be friends. They might have contacted each other. But hey, this is it. They're gonna be on the Chiefs together.
Each other before then, if that was the case. You don't follow each other today. That's not what you do. If you friends, you've been following each other.
So you're buying the hype. You guys both buying the hype.
I think that's gonna happen.
It's common sense.
Yeah. It makes.
Following
I love
unfollowing each other. and buying houses. That is the key. Remember when Tom Brady unfollowed his boy? What's his face?
Mm-hmm.
Who did Tom Brady
unfollow? Who? There's a lot of lists.
He unfollowed one of his teammates on the Patriots.
Oh,
and then
Edelman.
He left.
Oh, Julian Edelman. That's right. Yeah.
Edelman. He unfollowed him, and then that was a sign that Tom Brady was leaving Tampa.
I mean, right before I quit my last job, I unfollowed the whole place. And then walked in the office and was like, "Peace out, y'all."
But with the house thing though, I don't know. I don't know. I'm never one to really jump on this whole train. But I mean, I guess.
Yeah, we need to find a realtor in Kansas City. Is there anybody that knows a realtor in Kansas City? We got to find out if he's looking at homes.
I think that the real estate one, I think, is definitely reliable because we've seen it work so many times.
No,
but the following and unfollowing, I think, can be up in the air. That's how I feel. My mom has unfollowed me on Instagram, so
that's because
she's still my mom.
That's different. That's moms though, but. AB or Antonio Brown followed Derek Carr right before he went to the Raiders. Y'all remember that? Before that signing happened, you saw they followed each other. That's how it goes.
And Anthony Davis sold his house. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Anthony Davis sold his house for what? To buy a bigger house in Los Angeles. He ain't going anywhere.
Another house in LA. And what happened today? Didn't he just not sign his contract? Re-sign his contract? So he opted out of his contract.
He waived his player option to sign a contract with the Lakers. He's going to stay.
We're going to get into that in a minute. But
I'm going to get into it because I don't believe in any of this malarkey. I remember with the whole LeBron James thing. I'm not buying it. I don't buy that stuff.
If we didn't work together, would you be following me on Instagram?
If I came across you, yeah.
You see how his shoulders went up? That is a telltale sign that is not a factual statement. This is a tell, Chris.
I'm not going to unfollow people if I leave the job. I ain't going to do that. I don't know. I'm not buying it, but we'll see. When he signs with Chief, then all right, then I'll stop. I'll stand back because you guys give great examples. You're all correct. But I just don't. I'm not buying that whole thing. And maybe it's just because I just don't want to be on the Chiefs. So that's probably more of what it is than anything else. Don't do it, Le'Veon. Please, go anywhere else like the Saints because we could use you and do the same exact thing that you could do with the Chiefs. Anyways, moving on. All right, we'll see what happens because you guys are probably right, but I'm not playing along. I'm not biting. I'm not playing along. I'm not playing that game. So moving on to the Pro Bowl. There is something that might be changed with the Pro Bowl because I don't know about y'all, but not many people watch the Pro Bowl. I will admit I do watch the stuff that goes on beforehand, like the dodgeball and the quarterback competition. I love that stuff. But as far as the Pro Bowl game itself, I'll catch the highlights because my players will be in there, but I know they won't play very much, and I don't really care too much about the game itself. Well, it looks like we're not alone because reports are coming out that they're probably going to replace the Pro Bowl and just turn it into something completely different. This tweet came out saying exactly like I was just saying about the activities that are going on. The tweet said, the NFL announces this season's Pro Bowl will be replaced by a variety of engaging activities. They could have used anything else, variety of engaging activities. I feel like we sending our players to preschool. What they could have said anything else. What the heck? A variety of engaging activities. But I don't know what that's going to be. I mean, I'm not going to knock anything until it happens because look what happened with the All-Star game last year in the NBA. So let's see, maybe the NFL might come up with something that might make us go, oh, this is pretty entertaining. I don't know, but we'll see when it comes out. I just know if you're going to show me engaging activities, you already losing me so far, but whatever the case may be. But moving off of that, sticking with the NFL, Brandon Marshall. I know we got some fans of Brandon Marshall here on the Fumble panel. He has a new show that's going on where he's talking to a bunch of other retired players. And it was a moment in this most recent episode with Channing Crowder, who you guys may not know him because he only played about 5 years for the Dolphins. But this dude, they were talking about the bubble and, you know, the lack of sex in the bubble. And it turned into a whole entire different conversation thanks to Channing Crowder. And it is hilarious. So here's that video.
Got no game, Fred. If you ain't getting no sex on the road, you ain't got no game.
I'm drinking. I ain't got nothing to do with
Man,
that conversation.
it's women sitting outside the hotel. All you gotta do is go upstairs and come back down.
Oh, for real, that happened for
I
real?
went on the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
I played for the Jaguars, man. We was sorry. Ain't nobody waiting
Y'all
for
was
us.
sorry like that. The Dolphins was terrible. But I could always sneak downstairs by that bar and find me somebody smiling.
You? For real?
Me?
You said you?
No, don't cut it.
I ain't know it like that.
No. Me and my wife ain't beefing. I retired, so we good to go.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
I need you. You have to watch the entire thing because it still goes, and even I cut out the beginning part of it. It is so funny. It is hilarious. So basically, they're talking about how, you know, on the road, you know, they don't really do anything because their wives are with them on the road. And my man Channing Crowder kept it real. He's like, "What you mean, man? They still having sex on the road?" And then turned into that entire conversation where, you know, Chad Johnson trying to act like, "Me, I don't know what you're talking about. That would never do that." The whole thing was great. I thought that was hilarious. So please go and watch that entire video. It is comedy, and it's also well put together. Shout out to Brandon Marshall for that. From that crazy video, I have a post by Dion Waiters, who probably for people like me, I have no problem with Dion Waiters, but I do have a problem with guys like Jared Dudley winning this championship. Dion Waiters is talking to people like me who may have a problem with somebody winning a championship, even though they may or may not have played many minutes. And I respect the notion, but the post was kind of weird. It was all over the place. He put the caption said, "F their opinion. They're going to talk regardless. Since I was 7, all I had was $1 in a dream. Literally. Champ Cheese. Call me what you want. Just don't leave me. Just don't leave out he's a champion. I'm him on and off the court. The hate will never equal to the love. That is stink, don't it?" And then with a bunch of hashtags and like you could tell that this dude did that while they were celebrating in the locker room. Like he was writing this whole thing talking about, "Yeah, baby, yeah, so I have no hate for it. But that thing, he was covering like every front in that caption. I have no hate for it. So Champ Cheese, dog. I ain't got nothing. Champ Cheese. I ain't gonna say it about Jared Dudley, but Champ Cheese, I got you. That's all yours, Dion Waiters. You have it. Champ Cheese. I got you. But last but not least, I'll tell you who's not champs and who is not great. These new Nets uniforms. And that's the end of Poke No Snot. All right, so there's the Nets. Okay, they know that they're not doing a great job winning over New York fans. We are loyal to our own demise, and we are loving that trash New York Knicks team across the bridge. And we're not coming over and rooting for that trash New Jersey Nets team. I said what I said. Because the jerseys that they're bringing out, they're inspired by the old school New Jersey Nets theme. Basically, they realize we cannot win over these New York fans, so let's get the fans back from New Jersey, even though we burned them and left to Brooklyn for greener pastures. Well, people are feeling the type of way about the jerseys, and I've been on record saying that I personally like a lot of the merchandise and stuff that goes on with Brooklyn. I hate the team. I hate everything that goes on with the team. But with the merchandise for Brooklyn, their jerseys and stuff like that, I think they actually look pretty cool. Shout out to Jay-Z, because good and Steve Stout. But these right here, I hate them. Absolutely hate them. Disgusting. So much so that this person posted this side by side of the jerseys and a whole icy. And I think that is a great comparison because this starts a brand new nickname that I can co-sign for the duo of Kyrie Irving and KD, and that is, show the next one, Leo. Show the next one. Because where do you get ices? 7-Eleven. What's their jersey numbers? I'm going to end it right there. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one because Kevin Durant, number 7, Kyrie Irving, number 11, 7-Eleven.
Well, you know that is Al Horford's sister that posted that. I don't know if you peeped that out.
See, that makes it even better. Yeah, she on my side talking that talk.
I have to say, I think the Nets jerseys, this one is better than that. I think it was the Mavericks jersey with the graffiti on it.
Oh, God. Yeah, those are classic.
Debuted last year.
Those are
That's
too.
still
Anything's better than
the
those
worst,
jerseys.
in my opinion.
I don't know if you want to walk into an opposing stadium looking like an icy, though.
I'm saying, like,
not intimidating. I'm gonna go with
if there's
no.
anything,
I
right?
like
If
they
there's
went
anything
on
close to a
the whole-
cupcake, it's a damn Frosty.
Right. Like, oh wait, you guys
the whole like glacier theme that's been going on in the DMs. I think that's what they were trying to go for. So, like,
Timmy is at it again.
Yeah, Timmy.
If
Timmy
They
out
could
here
have brought back the
getting
old jerseys, but
Yeah,
if it works
Timmy
for
out here getting
Fumble,
his
maybe
work.
it'll work for the Nets. I don't know.
we'll see because they're gonna be looking real soft playing in those. But that's it for me on post.
Right. Oh my
All
God.
right, thank you so much, Chris. Now tell us, Jackie, what we not gonna do?
All right, guys. Once again, it's your girl Jackie Ray, and what we not gonna do is pretend that I take the MVP award seriously at all. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Giannis did not deserve the MVP last year. That definitely should have gone to James Harden. And there's no way in hell he should have got 60 votes this year. LeBron only got 10, and then James Harden only got 2. It's a lie from the devil. It's clearly just a popularity contest, which is fine. But I'm pretty sure that's what LeBron James meant when he said, you know, you're going to show me my damn respect, because clearly he didn't get it in that moment. This one, I don't have a lot to say about, because this is hilarious to me, because this is what every single hater sounds like in my ear who hates on LeBron James. I think Kobe got the same kind of hate, just kind of hate on his greatness. That's what all of you guys sound like, or that's what I read when you type your little haterisms in the chat. So I want you to take a listen to what you sound like to me, because this is hilarious.
Fuck you, man. Honestly, god damn it. Fuck you, man. You get fucking respect. What? Act like you fucking been there, LeBron. Jesus Christ, man. Legitimately, if you, oh my God, you're the best fucking player to play the game, man. Like you are. You're unbelievable. You're fucking great. And you've proven your greatness on multiple fucking teams. But Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ, will you just fucking take your fucking trophy and be happy and just fucking come back next year and fucking try it again? Like, why do you have to be such a dick like this, man? It's like, it's unbearable.
He's so mad, but at the same time talking about how great he is. This made my whole entire life. I apologize for the cursing for the virgin ears, but I'm not gonna ask any questions because we're short on time. But that was great. But just every time y'all hate on LeBron in the chat, just know you're that guy to me, because clearly you know he's great. Play it again, because it's actually quite fun. So now, we talked about it earlier. We touched on it. Britt kind of mentioned it. You know, all hell is breaking loose for the Lakers. I told you guys this was going to happen yesterday. So not surprised by this at all. First up, Rajon Rondo opted out of his contract. He's going to entertain free agency. AD also opted out of his contract, but he opted out with the intention to re-sign. Rondo is a fellow Scorpio like me, y'all. His birthday is on November 1st. So shout out to everybody who's a Scorpio, got birthdays coming up, but he's going to be 35. So he's been in the league for 14 years. So I'm not mad at him for wanting to test, you know, free agency, because he's right now, I think his player option is like 2.6 million. Obviously they have to work out the AD thing before they re-sign him. So I'm not mad. If money is his thing, I think he definitely should go out there and test that. I think he was definitely vital, because when he was out with that thumb injury, we definitely knew he was out. And I think he is the third best player on the team. So shouts out to him. KCP has also opted out of his contract. So that's a whole nother level. We've got to figure that out as well. I think everybody's opting out with the potential to re-sign, but apparently the Hawks are already circling the water around KCP. So who knows if he'll be able to re-sign with us. AD obviously is the priority, but KCP declined his $8.5 million option. So who knows? But again, according to ProTrack, there's a couple of different options for AD. So he can do 2 years at $68.1 million plus an option. And so 1 year, and then the player option in year 2, or he can do a 3 year at $106 million, which is 2 years plus the option. And then that one would probably include a max deal of $253 million, or 4 years at $146 million. Obviously the third year would be the player option. And then he could potentially get a $266 max deal on that one. If I was AD, I would definitely go for the 3 years, so the 2 year plus the option. I think LeBron definitely has 2 solid good years left in him. He probably has 4 total, but 2 good years left. And then I think you can build with him on that, and then you can kind of figure out your way around that. But I'm not personally worried. I think that AD will definitely re-sign. If KCP and Rajon find more money elsewhere, if that's what they're really going for, I'm not mad at that, especially for Rajon, because he deserves that money. It's getting later he's at the tail end of his career. So Devin, I want to go to you. What do you think? Do you think that this is we're going to see a breaking away from Rajon and KCP, or do you think that they're just testing the waters, but eventually will sign back with the Lakers?
I know we're short on time, so I very long, but I don't see them breaking away. I think that they're just testing the waters. I think that this finals run for them proved that they all work really well together. So I anticipate them staying all together.
Yeah, I think the only one that I'm kind of worried about is KCP, because I think the Hawks can give him a nice little deal, better than maybe what we can offer. But we'll see. We'll definitely keep you posted. So make sure you come check us out. Either just subscribe or come back to the live tomorrow. We'll keep you posted. But right now, it is time for Britt's Takes.
Britt's Takes.
All right, guys, we had super fun during the post up today, which made us a little bit over on time. I'm going to be really quick with this one because I actually just wanted to do a shout out for a real one. So I saw over the last few days, unfortunately, a lot of fans on social media making fun of Avery Bradley because he opted out of the bubble. If you guys don't remember, he opted out of the bubble because he had a son that literally was high risk for COVID. So he decided to not join the bubble. And it was a huge loss for the Lakers. I know, guys like Rondo and stuff ended up stepping in and being great. But like Avery Bradley was like, that key person on the Lakers that kind of like took them over the hump a lot of times in super close games. So when they lost Avery Bradley, it was huge, and then obviously that is why they ended up getting like JR and then Dion joining and all of that kind of stuff, because Avery Bradley did not or was not able to attend the bubble. But I thought it was crazy that people were making fun of him for like, oh, they won a championship and you didn't even get to like be a part of it, blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, people, he does get a ring. He played this season, the majority of the season with the team, and just because he opted out of the bubble doesn't mean he doesn't get a ring. He actually still gets a ring, so he will be getting a ring. And then he also now has the moment of realizing, he did what was best for him and his family, and that was, to make sure his child was safe and didn't have any issues with COVID. Like obviously the bubble did do a really good job in making sure that, COVID did not enter into the bubble and this, that, and the third, but he had to do what he had to do in that moment. And that was be with his family. So I think it's awesome that he did not go to the bubble and he went with his heart and whatever. And he decided to focus on his family during that time. And something else that I thought was really awesome that nobody's been talking about, but I thought was huge, and I wanted to shout him out for that. This is he didn't just spend his time in the bubble just hanging out with his family and taking care of his own family. He actually was taking care of WNBA players and their families as well. He and his wife, Ashley, actually donated over $30,000 after we covered it once the WNBA started their bubble, their living quarters and their situations and stuff that they were dealing with within their bubble and how gross and whatever it was. So Avery Bradley and his wife decided to step in at that point and donated over $30,000 of supplies and different things for the WNBA players. Especially the ones that they wanted to make a focus, especially the ones that had kids, because we know several WNBA players brought their kids with them into the bubble from the beginning. And that was part of the deal of them going into the bubble, that they wouldn't go unless their kids were allowed to go with them in the bubble. And we saw them there the whole entire time, having fun and hanging out with their moms and all of that kind of stuff. And him and his wife wanted to be to help them out in any way they could, whether it was getting stuff for schooling or whatever for the kids, different like activities they could play with and situations like that, because we do know that that WNBA bubble was nothing at all like what the NBA players got to experience with their bubble. And I think it is so dope and amazing that Avery Bradley decided to, donate to the WNBA bubble to make sure that they were living comfortably, especially the people that had children inside the bubble, because we all know how hard the NBA players were saying their bubble life was, and they literally had water slides and pools and all these activities and stuff they could do. We saw the little play center that they had for the kids once the kids were allowed to join the bubble, and the WNBA players were literally finding cockroaches in their room. So I think it's super dope, and I kind of just wanted to do a quick shout out to him for my Britt's take today, because at the beginning of this, I did call out NBA players and said, hey, why don't you guys donate some money to the WNBA players? They're going through some stuff. They need help too. You guys always want to say you support the WNBA, but literally you could cover literally all of their salaries and it not even be anything off your guys' back. And so for Avery Bradley to step up and do that, and he did it very quietly. Nobody knew about it. It wasn't until now after, they already won their championship a couple weeks ago, and now we're just now finding out about this because one of the WNBA players had spoken out and said what Avery Bradley did. He didn't say anything about it. He kind of just quietly did it and helped out. So I just wanted to get the word out and say thank you, Avery Bradley, for taking care of, the women's NBA or the WNBA. And I think it's awesome. I appreciate you for that. Y'all stop hating on him for not being in the bubble. He used his time wisely and took care of not only his family, but the WNBA players' families. And he's still going to get his ring. So stop hating on Avery. I think what you did is awesome, my guy. And keep being great.
Cool. I like that, Britt. I think he does deserve recognition for that. So thank you so much for that. And let's wrap up the show. You guys only went 2 minutes over. I think that's pretty good considering our big post-up detour that we took to talk about Ty Lue. For those of you tuning into the chat, let us know what you think about that. By the way, is it a good move for the Clippers? Do you feel like the panel over here on the Fumble Squad Live? Let us know in the chat. Don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell, leave a thumbs up, comment below. Wash your hands, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Go Dodgers, and y'all pray for me and my Clippers, please.
Congratulations, Ty Lue. Be very Ty-like.
No.